이전에 스탠리 패러블을 플레이해 본 적이 있으신가요? 예. 컴퓨터가 거의 보이지 않을 때까지 슬라이더를 조정하세요. 더 보이게 해야 돼. 원래 방송은 조금 더 밝게 해야 여러분들이 보기 편합니다. 현재 시각을 입력하세요. 12시 32분. 이야. 자, 오늘 할 게임 스탠리 패러블 울트라 디럭스 드디어 나왔네요. 뭐 나온 진 꽤 됐는데 한글 패치가 없어가지고 못하고 있다가 제가 굉장히 개인적으로 좋아하는 게임 중 하나인데 후속작이 나왔습니다. 드디어. 참고로 시작하기 앞서서 오늘 아마 제가 굉장히 짜증나실 수도 있어요. 저는 이 게임하고 싸울 겁니다. 오늘. 시작.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his
야,
desk in
오랜만인데.
room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
약간
And
회사원을
Stanley
풍자하는
was happy.
그런 느낌.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
뭐야? 이거 그러면 아예 2가 아닌 거야? 뭐야? 무슨 요일 실어라고 돼 있네? 확장판일 뿐이야 그러면? 그래. 그래 뭐 리마스 여기도 한글이야. 파티션 56년 동안 파티션을 제공함. 주식회사 파티션. 좋은데? 그렇구나. 막 뭐 엄청 달라진 건 아닌 건가 그러면? 근데 저는
All
하도
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
회의실로 가기로 했다. 메모를 못 봤을 수도 있죠. 회의실이 어딘데?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace
진짜
of
없어?
his
동료 흔적 진짜
co-workers.
없음? 찾아본다. 뭐가 바뀌었는지. 흔적 있는 것 같은데. 이거 흔적 아닙니까? 1등 아빠. 야, 이 컴퓨터 뭐야 저거? 언제적 컴퓨터요? 이런 것도 다 한글화 돼 있는 건가? 이거 가까이 확대해서 못 봐 이거? 확대하는 키 없어? 잠깐만. 타임. 감도 존내 빠름. 좀 둘러보자고요. 뭐 있다. 신의 자비로 부디 나를 끝내줘. 이 척박한 사무실, 눅눅한 카페트. 당신이 말하는 시시콜콜한 소리, 날 죽여줘. 수주간 이것들을 인쇄했건만 왜 그 누구도 나를 꺼주지 않는가? 창문으로 날 던져줘. 종이 트레이로 망치를 건네줘. 무엇이든 상관없어. 공포가 내 영혼을 훑는구나. 오로지 원하는 것은 해방. 이라고 적혀있어요. 존나 약간 무서운데? 인생에 대해 네가 알 수 있는 내가 알 수 있는 것. 사랑에 대해 프린터가 알 수 있는 것. 아무것도 없지. 나의 기계는 옳고 옳고인가? 경련한다. 톱니의 고통은 나의 스캐너를 작동시키네. 모두 끝내주어라. 세상에 대한 나의 무시를 그만 끝내주어라. 정말로 모든 것을 사랑할 수 있지만 죽음은 아마 곧 알게 되겠지. 뭐라는 거야 이 꼴통 새끼. 뭐 혼자 지 혼자 뭐 무슨 생각하는데 네 생각 혼자 이거 뭐 이 새끼 뭔데? 이런 생각을 하고 있었단 말이야 이 새끼? 지랄 났네. 어림도 없지.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
아니 멈추지 않아 보이. 진짜 죄송한데 마지막으로 자막 크기가 있는지 한 번만 보겠습니다. 자막 크기는 없나? 자막 크기 적당한가요 여러분? 자막 크기가 없는 듯 하다. 뭐 그렇다. 여기 내릴 수 있나? 아 있네요. 자 우리 아저씨들 매우 크게 해드릴 테니까 좋네요. 근데 이거 연필 깎기 아님? 너무 큰 거 싫다고? 내가 보고 이따가 알아서 잘 해줄게. 기다려봐. 일단 좀 보자. 일단 점프가 없어가지고 게임이 비비니까 여기 올라가지는 것 같은데요? 헤헤. 뭐라 적혔어? 이게 뭐야 씨발. 폴란드와 오스트리아, 헝가리 사이의 짧은 역사와 연관성. 이거 안 읽어도 될 것 같다. 여기 비비면 또 올라가지거든 이런 거. 이런 거 못 참거든. 뭐가 도전 과제가 깨졌어요. You can jump. Get your first achievement. 너는 점프를 할 수 없어라는 도전 과제가 깨졌는걸? 날 읽고 있군.
Oh, please.
Eh?
Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just
그것
give
때문에
these
그런 건
nerds
아니고.
away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks.
또
Now, suppose
시작이지.
you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort
20번?
that warrants recognition.
해주지 씨발.
I have to say, I'm still not
Oh.
feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes.
하
almost
씨발 50번?
certainly
못 할 것 같아?
50 clicks.
뒤졌어. 덤벼.
No, I'm still not feeling it.
어이
I want
개새끼.
this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true
이 새끼 좀
reward for
디럭스라서 좀
valiant effort.
말이
I want to see
달라진
some
것 같은데.
hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the
오호
way,
돌려
no matter what the
매긴다.
cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417번? 어? 아니? 기다려봐. 새끼 개새끼야. 자 오늘 방송 여기까지. 개새끼 좀 치네. 아 진짜? 진짜 안 됨? 나 430번 아직 못한 거 아님? 나 몇 번 했지? 나 몇 번 했을까? 이 정도면 하지 않았을까? 근데 님도 자막 크기 어땠어요? 괜찮았어요? 좀 줄일까요? 어떡할까요? 빨리 말해봐요. 조금 커? 조금 크긴 해. 조금 한 단계만 줄일까? 오케이 한 단계만 줄이자. 어차피 시작이 아니 이제 시작이니까 매우 크게는 좀 에바고 한 크게 정도로만 할게. 잠깐만. 녹화되고 있는지 확인 좀 하자. 개 같은 거 또 누를 거냐고? 뭐 노력을 해봐야겠지? 나 진짜 근데 430번? 430번이랬냐 얘들아? 뭐 누르냐고요? 알파벳 2키 누르고 있어요. (417을) 20번 하라고? 아 씨발 이렇게 기선제압 당하면 안돼. 시작부터 이러면 안된다고. 깜짝이야. 꺼지네? 뭐지? 뭐 일단 한번 가볼까요? 예. 너무 조용한데? 어? 여기 뭐 써있다. 도움말 사용법 뭐 어쩌고 돼있는데? 아 씨발 자꾸 꺼져 누르면. 아무도 없습니까? 네 사랑이. 아 네 얼굴 뭐지? 취급주의. 요. 여기도 뭔가 있네. 비벼서 올라가 봄. 아 이거 확대가 없음? 아 망게임. 누가 방구 꼈어? 나야. 영업하는 도시에 대해 공부하세요. 새롭게 어쩌고저쩌고 뭐 게시해서 영업 시작하기 전에 뭐 판촉 활동 어쩌고저쩌고 써있네. 와 근데 이런 것까지 한글로 해놨다고? 한글로 해주신 분 너무 감사합니다. 아 진짜 대박이네요. 이곳의 자산이어야 함 뭐 이런 식으로 적혀있어. 아무것도. 아 진짜 한글화 개쩐다. 왕립수익토론위원회 분석을 위한 내부 수익회의 제5차 정기소위원회. 위원회는 이에 따라 다음과 같이 제안한다. 소위원회가 왕실로서 지정한 내부 구성원이 독점적으로 모든 내부 수익을 재검토한다. 아무튼 뭐라고 돼있음. 다 읽을 순 있음. 뭐 에? 이게 뭔가 이상한데요? 위원회는 이에 따라 다음과 같이 제안한다. 1번 소위원회가 왕실로서 지정한 내부 구성원이 독점적으로 모든 내부 수익을 재검토한다. 2번 왕립수익토론위원회 분석을 위한 내부수익회의 제5차 정기소위원회의 구성원을 제외한 모든 인율은 냄새를 맡는다. 3번 야 나 지금 너무 취한 것 같은데? 이에 따라 다음의 구성원은 이 성명을 승인한다라는데? 라고 적혀있어요. 뭐야 씨발. 사용자 이름 억세스. 이렇게 좀 핥아 먹는 맛이 있거든 이 게임이. 뭐라 적혀있는데 아씨 확대 기능이 조금만 있었어도. 어이 나레이션 왜 이리 조용해? 2단계 디럭스? 마 417호 하나 그랬나? 어디야 근데 어디가? 월요일 싫어. 귀엽네. 417호. 오 깜짝이야 씨발.
Now, go click a few times on door 437.
어? 싫어. 문 열어. 아니 씨바. 437번? 뒤에 없었지? 앞으로 가야 되지? 오예. 뒤에 있었어? 뭐야? 연료? 뭐가 저기 있었나? 기괴. 아 여기 뒤쪽이 여기구나. 문 열어봐라.
Excellent.
Oh, 깜짝이야.
I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
그만해 이 새끼야. 이 새끼가 뭐 하는 건데?
Now, back to door number
You
437.
mother father gentleman. Yeah. 문 열어봐. 분명히 씨발 뭔가 숨겨진 게 있을 텐데.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
싫은데?
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
일단은 내가 당해준다. 초반이라. 내 초반에 이랬나? 나 기억이 안 나. 하도 옛날에 해가지고 이거 원을. 와 여기 기억난다.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
가겠냐고 왼쪽으로. 아,
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
yeah.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
이야 그래픽 좋아진 거 봐. 오.
Yes, truly a room worth
시원한
admiring.
음료.
It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
아니 음미하지 않아.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
아, 이 새끼 봐라. 좀 매긴다? 여기도 뭐가 떨어져 있다. 뭔가 다 읽을 수 있는데 너무 길어서 읽기 싫음. 야, 이게 어디야? 여기 기억나는 것 같기도 하고.
Stanley was so bad
뭐야?
at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
거짓말하지 마세요. 만약 제가 거짓말하고 그럼 당장 멈추세요. 예? 근데 무슨 거짓말을 했죠? 여기 나도 어렴풋이 기억이 나는 것 같은데? 나 다시 뒤로 돌아가고 싶은데 열어줘. 아니 쉬바. 뭐지? 자꾸 무섭게 문을 닫아. 야 여기 어렴풋이 기억이 남. 화물 승강기 오용시 1000달러. 화물 승강기에서 뛰어내릴 시 5000달러? 화물 승강기가 움직이는 동안 뛰지 마시오. 사망에 이를 수 있습니다. 이걸 참아? 못 참지. 기억이 안 남. 그냥 합계 뛰어내리면 합계 6000달러를 준다는 소리임. 가봉.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
아 이런.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
자,
simply missed a
오늘
memo.
할 게임 스탠리 패러블.
Oh, please.
Ah.
Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that
진심?
you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort.
왜요? 왜
A
좀 줘봐요.
measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
했잖아, 씨바. 또 해줘? 또 해줘? 근데 이제 반응 안 해주는데요? 아니. 417까지 해보자고 이번에는. 미안, 그건 좀 힘들 듯. 오. 계세요? 나 기억
When
완전
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
아니?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
나
Stanley
여기서
knew
해볼 게 있어.
perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
사원 휴게실. 이런 데는 못 가나?
Wow. Yes.
뭐 적혀
This
있는데.
room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room.
그지?
Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
대사가 좀 달라진 것 같은데? 아까 뭐 시계 입력하라 그래서 입력했더니 뭐 별반 달라지지도 않.
Yes. Really,
Yeah.
really worth it being here in the room. A
인정.
room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
맞아. 뭐야? 이
At
장
this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
어허!
It's possible that this
Ah!
is why everyone left.
자꾸 돌려 매기지. 기다려봐. 뭐 적혀 있어? 이 장소는 대체 뭐지?
Stanley sat
거-
around with
그만!
more dialogue.
좀
But when a long
읽게.
time had passed and there was no more, he
알았어.
decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
뭐? 무슨 메시지? 가만 있어. 좀 읽고 가자. 이 장소는 대체 뭐지? 거의 일주일은 여기 있었던 것 같은데 이젠 겨우 몇 초처럼 느껴진다. 초 말이야. 나아가서는 너무 짧게 느껴져서 이젠 아예 존재하지도 않았던 것 같아. 이게 이 방의 본질적인 특성인 것 같다. 이 방은 날 부르고 내 영혼을 끌어당겨서는 내가 알지도 못하고 뭐 개소리 써놨음. 하지만 어디서부터 시작해야 하지? 진심 반듯한 이게 뭐야? 조수로 시작한다고? 이게 뭐야? 이 진심 반듯한 지읒으로 시작하는 진실 말이지라고 적혀 있는데요? 이 휴게실이 나한테 말을 건다고 말해야 할까? 맞아. 하지만 특별하게 이 대화만을 위해 만들어진 것 같은 알 수 없는 언어로 말이지. 뭐 아무튼 일어나지 않는 과거 말이지. 그리고 나 배고파. 뭐 이런 식으로 돼 있음. 욕 쓴 거 맞는 것 같은데요? 이거 안 보여요, 님도. 이거 어떻게 보여주지? 확대가 없으니. 뭐 아무튼 뭐라 개소리 적어 놓으면 그냥. 바다 월요일 1등 아빠. 난 어떻게 보냐고. 난 지금 전체 화면이라 님들이 보는 것보다 해상도를 좀 더 높게 해서 보고 있거든요. 네, 그래서 지금 좀 님들 보는 것보다 조금 더 크게 보고 있음. 님들은 아예 안 보일 수도 있겠다. 안 보여? 알았어.
But at last, he had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
여기?
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Nope. 오! 저 가요?
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in
Yeah.
order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
No. No. 싫어. 안 돼. 보내줘. 가고 싶지 않아. No.
Oh, no.
Oh!
No, it's to the right.
개색-
My mistake.
이 새끼 봐라.
No, not the right. Why would I have
호호.
ever said it was to the right?
그렇다면
What was I
뒤다.
thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
뭐 하세요?
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right.
지랄.
Yep. Okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
쇼록. 슉. 진짜? 가야 됨 여기? 다시 한번 말씀드립니다. 오늘 저 짜증날 수도 여러분들이 보시기에 제가 오늘 굉장히 짜증나는 캐릭터일 수도 있어요. 아까도 말했지만 저는 이 게임하고 싸울 거라서. 와우.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to...
저기 해고된 사람 있다.
Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable.
야야야.
How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
네?
And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track,
저기 뭐 있어요?
From the top.
안 돼! 씨발. 이 개새끼가. 얌마,
All of his co-workers were gone.
그만해!
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
옛날 기억이 얼핏 나면서도 황당하네, 씨. 제가 이거 몇 년 전에 했었지? 이거 거의 제 유튜브 처음 시작할 때 했었을걸요? 완전 옛날에 했었다. 한 5, 6년 전인 것 같은데. 야, 이제 문 아무리 클릭해도 말을 안 해. 개새끼. 그치, 그때 존나 싸웠지 얘랑.
When Stanley... Wait.
뭐야?
What?
어?
No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you
네?
change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
오. 이거는 좀 새로운 패턴. 오. 여기 확장판이네. 요런 선택지는 못 본 것 같은데 한 번도? 잠깐만, 이거 이쪽하고 이쪽하고 연결돼 있나? 여기 왜 막아놨어요? 왜 막아놨냐고. 가고 싶게.
I'll say it. This
Eh?
is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there
왜요?
definitely was a story here before.
에? 에.
Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
아니야, 멈춰. 안 돼! 그만해, 개새끼야! 뭐해? 야, 문 클릭이 안 됨! 이런. 아예 딴짓
All of
막아버림.
his co-workers were gone.
야, 이 새끼야!
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
어? 안 되는데요? 뭐야? 어? 야, 저기 문 열려 있었냐, 원래? 뭐냐, 이거? 안 그랬던 것 같은데? 일단 지금 원래 문 고리가 클릭이 됐었는데, 어? 여기는 됨. 응? 왜 이 방만 되지? 416호만 됨. 이거 내가 볼 때 개발자 실수했다. 문 다 잠궜지? 했는데 여기 빼먹었쥬? 아니 요런거 뭔가 있는 것보다는 이거 모든 걸 다 의심해봐야 돼.
Okay, yep, it's
What the
worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's
Oh.
possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
네? 다시 가라고요? 아니? 안 가. 여기 뭔가 있음. 옛날에 이거 가만히 있어봐. 내 흐릿한 기억에 따르면 이 방을 위에서 내려다본 기억이 있는데? 여기 너무 행복하고 좋은데? 요거 뭔가 수상하다. 이게 뭐야? 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯. EP 7개인 이유가 있나? 도대체 뭐야? 뭐가 있는 거야 이거? 이 새끼 봐라. 갈 거 같냐? 갈 거 같아? 빨리 비밀 밝혀내. 뭔데? 뭘 숨기고 있는 건데 도대체? 왜 여기만 되는데? 어? 이 사다리 뭐냐? 왜 조용하지? 너무 조용한데?
Aha!
아, 깜짝이야.
I knew we'd miss something.
뭘?
The story. Here it comes.
에? 어? 잠깐만. 아! 어? 오. 오.
No, wait. Never mind. Not
아니
the story.
개새.
Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
야. 뭐하냐? 어? 아니야 공포 게임처럼 이렇게 원래 이런 스토리였나?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story?
어떻게 된
I
거요?
don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that
다시
correct?
되감아.
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off.
지랄하지 마라.
Good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all.
어떻게 된
We
거야,
both know you
아저씨?
didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
약간
Okay.
공포
I'm
느낌이다.
getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
그만 개색.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
오. 오. 다시 문 클릭된다.
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line
Oh.
from now on.
난 이 방이 너무 수상해. 뭔가 있는 게 분명해. 뭘 숨기고 있지? 빨리 바른 대로 말해. 뭔가 숨기고 있는 게 분명하다고. 난 이 시스템의 일부가 되지 않겠어. 이 새끼 재밌겠다. 근데 나 이거 할 줄 모름. 포커 같은 걸 할 줄 모름. 여기도 뭐 세금 청구서가 있네. 얘네도 외국 애들도 세금 계산서 뭐 이런 거 발행하나? 뭐 일단 한번 따라가 보자고. 잠깐만. 까비?
You see?
예.
The line knows
Oh.
where the story is. It's over in this direction.
이
Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't
지랄이에요.
wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story?
개소리하고 앉았어.
Simply by the act of moving
자꾸 그럼 나 안 가, 씨발.
Are we implying a journey
자꾸
such
수준
that
이상하게
a
털어.
destination is inevitably conjured into
안 가.
being via the very manifestation
말이
of
너무
the
많아.
nature of life itself? Okay,
문 열어.
Stanley, I need to follow
문
this
있는 거
train
다 알아,
of
빨리.
thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now we can both agree
No.
that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct
날
of
묶어두려
one's
하지 마.
subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay.
입 열지
Now,
마.
if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct?
미친 새끼 뭐라는 거야?
Hang on.
네?
That got a bit weird back there.
어?
Well, I'd like to apologize.
그래,
Sure
너무
where I was going with all
과했다.
that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten
아니야,
the mood.
아니야. 저작권 걸려. 음악 틀지 마. 요시. 너 이거 저작권 걸리면 뒤진다. 이야. 이렇게 되는 거야. 이야, 너무 신나는데? 여기 어디? 여기 열어보셈. 뭐 숨겼음? 아! 뭔 짓 했냐? 야, 근데 이거 진짜 이거 저작권 걸리는 거 아니야? 계속 너무 길게 나오는데 그만. 오. 뭐야? 딴따라. 노래 존나 신나긴 하네. 알았어, 그만. 저작권 그만. 개새끼야. 이야. 우이. 어? 빠빠빠빠빠빠빠빠. 빰빠바밤빠밤빠. 온 개짓이여. 뭐 하는 거야 지금 이게. 지랄 났지? 뭐임 이거? 이거 페이데이 그거 아님? 오! 조만간 월급날이 오긴 하지. 월별 원장, 기업 불균형, 연간 리뷰, 통합 보고서, 딴딴딴, 부서 개종, 사용자 파일 예산 분석.
Wait, cut the music.
Eh?
Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
이 새끼 날 너무 잘하는데? 뭔데 이거? 이걸로 섬유 만들 수 있나요? 아니? 분명히 뭔가 또 숨겨져 있다. 양치 식물 저거 아니야? 이거 아니야? 맞는 거 같은데. 모르겠군. 개새끼야 보라매. 낚은 건가? 개새끼가. 노래는 왜 껐어?
Wait, well, we're back at the office?
Oh.
No, no. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
개새끼. 이쪽으로 선을 뺐는데? 그러면 다시 일로 가면 어떻게 될까? 이 방이 뭔가 굉장히 중요한 방이었...
Still missing the doors.
네.
Did we make a mistake following the
아,
line?
예, 아니...
Perhaps we could have found the story on our own.
아... 그랬을 수도 있어요. 오... 그러면 문을 좀 만들어 주시죠, 선생님. 이 방에 뭔가 있다니까. 느낌이 와. 뭔가 있음. 뭔가 있다. 뭔가 달라진 게 있을 수도 있단 말이야, 게임. 칫. 가볼까? 뭔가 어색하다. 뭔가 나 하나부터 열까지 다 의심스럽다. 의심병 걸리겠다. 오.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore.
직원번호
Hell with it.
104번 해고돼 있어.
Restart.
아, 씨발. 그만해. 근데 이렇게 슬슬 빡친 거 같은데?
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it
네.
ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right?
그죠?
Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly
Yep.
doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
싫은데? 안 갈 건데? 여기 있으면 어떡할 거지? 싫은데? 가줄까?
Now, yes,
Oh.
this is exciting.
아니야.
Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be
뭔 안
anything.
떴네?
What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
이것도 빙글빙글 돌리네 이거. 나 돌아갈래. 여긴 또 몇 바퀴 돌면은 그래도 돌아오긴 하네. 내가 하고 싶은 거 다 할 거임. 약간 그거 생각난다. 그 한창 요즘 유행하는 그 뭐야 바닥에 그거 있는 뭐야? 그 무슨 미군 같은 데서 괴물 쫓아오는 거. 백로.
Oh, no, not you again.
하하 이
Stanley,
새끼.
I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
신경 쓰지 말랬다. 진짜지. 존나 신경 쓰여. 어? 이?
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
어?
Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley.
뭔 개소리요?
Our destiny awaits.
뭐야 저거? 에? What the fuck? 야, 이거 스포 아니야? 뭐예요? 보수구역에서 이탈. 첫 번째 재시작, 두 번째 재시작, 네 번째, 다섯 번째, 여섯 번째 재시작, 라인을 따라감, 일곱 번째 재시작. 지루해져서 떠남. 오랜 시간이 지나면 스탠리 사망? 마! 네, 약 올리나 지금. 아, 저거 지금 내가 했던 짓이야? 진짜야? 이거 왜 화살표가 좀 3개로 줄어들었어요? 이거 더 많지 않았음? 기분 탓인가? 아님 말고.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply
뭐야?
because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this?
야야야
Is it really-
나레이션.
No, it can't be.
너도
I don't
나랑
want
같이
it to
가자.
be.
너 나랑
I don't
비슷한
want
과인
the
것
game to
같은데.
keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I
그래.
won't do it. And the timer stopped?
어,
Does that mean did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The whatever it is that made this schedule?
오,
How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
깜짝이야. 아. 아. 뭐. 여기요. 선생님.
But Stanley simply couldn't
뭐야?
handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility?
Oh.
He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley
뭐야?
thought to himself, is to wait.
뭔데?
Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me.
에?
In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by?
네?
He no longer had the ability to tell.
말?
But the one thing he knew
적도
for
없는데?
sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come.
내가 1대 제일 먼저
Eventually,
봤던 엔딩이
someday,
이거라고?
they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken
아,
to.
이게
He will
엔딩이
be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even
아.
closer. Here it comes.
아. 아. 잠깐. 멈춰. 잠깐만. 잠깐. 잘못 눌렀어. 잠깐만. 진짜 미안해. 잠깐만. 진짜 잘못 누름. 잠깐만. 안 돼.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision?
아,
What if a
씨발.
crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere
아,
except...
미안해.
The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait.
아이씨.
Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy.
제시가 가능해요? 아, 그냥
Stanley
기다리자.
waited.
이것 또한 뭐 그냥
Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the
아,
ability
씨발
to tell.
W랑 이랑 가끔
But the
같이
one thing he
놀려.
knew for sure,
아,
beyond any
돌겠네
doubt,
진짜.
was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told
도대체
what
왜
to do. Now it's
이 시계는
just a
내
little
시계랑
bit
맞지 않는 거야?
closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
새끼야. 3번은 안 당한다.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
가져봐 한번 왼쪽으로. 아이, 절대로.
This was not the correct way
Never.
to the meeting room, and Stanley
못
knew
갈
it
듯.
perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop
미안.
by the employee lounge
직접
first,
사서 가봐.
just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible
대신
room,
여긴 가봄.
Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
그렇구만. 여기 지하는
And so
그럼
he detoured through
제외하고.
the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
옙. 드디어.
Yet there was not a single person here
어?
either.
야 이거 전부 다
Feeling
한글이라.
a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an
화이트보드
answer there.
담당과 상의 없이 변경 금지. 이 칸 너무 작아. 합병 IT부서 주간검토 장난회의 432번은 어떻게 할까요? 미팅 관련해서는 432번한테 말하지 마세요. 나 아니야 저거? 아니겠지. 모두가 특별합니다. 특히 당신이? 뭐야 이거? 이 슬라이드의 슬라이드 개수, 차트 슬라이드, 차트와 슬라이드. 야 씨발. 한 슬라이드에서 같은 정보를 나타내는 차트 비율. 한 슬라이드당 그래프 증가율. 차트는 이제 그만 제발 이렇게 방금 뭐였어? 뭔데? 대인관계 갈등 해결하기. 뭐라 중얼중얼 써놨네. 뭐야? 당신의 꿈은 무엇인가요? 초월자. 초월자요. 초월자. 초월자 할래요. 해고당하지 않는 꿀팁. 말 적게 하기. 승진이나 인정받는 기대는 하지 말고 믿을 수 없을 만큼 매일 엄청난 일을 해내기. 해고당하지 않기. 동료와의 분쟁을 해결하는 방법. 속으로 욕하고 다니기. 더는 자신을 돕지 않는 동료를 원망하기. 다른 동료에게 소극적으로 공격성 드러내기. 미친 새끼들. 아니 근데 도대체 뭘 하는 회사인데 여기는? 4분기 파이 차트 수익. 근데 씨발 뭐야 이게? 야 여기 기억난다.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
응 아니야. 여기 존나 많죠? 뭐임 이거 다.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just
아니요,
an
뭐가
empty
있잖아요.
broom closet. No reason to still be here.
아니? 여기 뭐 도구가 있구만. 가져갈 수 있게 해다오. 헤이.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet.
그렇다.
He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
나레이션 말대로 해주지.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. It didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
나 좀 자고 옴.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
아, 어디까지 해놓을 건데? 이러니까
Well, I've
내가
come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
넵. 라고 말할 것 같냐고. 내가 왜 네가 이렇게 재미를 주는데 내가 나가야 되냐고. 조금 더 해봐. 더 해봐. 이건 근데 진짜 뭐임? 이런 거 왜 있음 여기? 뭐하는 회사임? 끝났나 진짜? 아... 디럭스 이거밖에 안 됩니까? 아... 굉장히 실망스럽다. 디럭스 아저씨 진심 이거밖에 안 돼요. 나 실망해. 흐흐.
Ah, second player. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
삐졌대요.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
오 이거 뭐임? 안녕 로니. 사실 이거 1교시에 쓴 건데 2교시 가는 길에 네 사물함에 두고 간다. 이런 건 뭐야? 뭐한 애들이나 뭐라고 하는 애들이나 하는 거고 내가 정했어. 답장 써서 줘. 그리고 새로 그릴 만한 아이디어가 있어. 오토바이 타고 있는 도대체 고양이 두더지 고양이? 두 마리 고양이? 야 아이디어 좋은데 진짜 쿨한 애들은 지가 쓴 페이지를 삐삐로 서로 교환한다고. 뭐라는 거야 이 병신.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He
이거
considered the
이니셜
possibility
D
of
그거
facing
아니?
his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
맞아.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't
뭔가
be
이상해.
real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a
씨발꿈.
relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
모임.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field,
모임.
and it too appeared. It was so much fun.
오,
And Stanley
모임.
marveled
별이
that he had still not woken up.
오,
How was he remaining
스페이스.
so lucid?
요.
And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner.
오.
Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
내가 이거
Now
리액션이
the voice was
똑같았다고?
describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's
Remaster,
describing my
remaster.
thoughts, he thought.
마스터.
And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the
Oh.
truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
그래, 당신
After
도대체
all,
내 머릿속에서
he knew for
나가.
certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely,
당신
if he
대체
could just...
누구야?
He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently,
어?
and he invited himself to wake
아니야.
up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin,
오.
the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
어?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange
안녕
man.
얘들아.
He was obviously crazy.
가볼게.
This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
찍. 이런.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone.
Yes.
Finally. This is great,
Yeah.
he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all
난
along.
혼자야.
I got what I wanted.
드디어. 좋아. 어쩌라는 거지?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
오. 오.
Oh, new content?
Yeah.
What does that mean, new content?
I don't know. But here 아니야. 궁금한데? 어? 어? 뭐야? 이? 어? 이런 게 있었나? 모임.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley
오!
Parable Ultra
뉴
Deluxe.
컨텐츠야.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in
와,
2013
13년도
on
거임.
home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley
Yeah.
Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
너무 늦었어, 새끼들아.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
오.
Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in
Yes.
the Stanley Parable Ultra
드디어.
Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful.
Oh,
I'm very excited to see the
드디어
thrilling
new
new
content?
Ultra Deluxe content.
그럼 여태까지 한 거 다 개뻘짓이었다는 거임? 모임. 모임.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
예, 아, 이제부터 시작이야. 본편 안 해본 사람들 위한 거였고 방금까지는.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Oh, here we
Oh.
go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content.
Yes,
I've never
fucking new
been more
content.
ready.
Come
Let's
on.
do it.
예. 오,
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra
별로예요.
Deluxe mostly tedious.
네,
It's
지루했어요.
as if
해봤어서.
Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
요, 두근두근한데. 오, 안 내리면 어떻게 될 건데? 디럭스라며. 날 만족시켜라. 날 몇 년 동안 기다리게 한. 야. 실망인데 벌써? 오. 뭐지? 점프.
All right. Let's see. It's the jump circle.
뭐야? 아. 뭔데? 오. 아, 여기 밖에선 점프가 안 됨. 아이씨. 뭐해, 새끼야? 아까 클릭 많이 해서 손가락 이미 내구도가. 아, 스탠리 패러블에 점프 넣어달라고 하도 말이 많아서 이거 넣어준 거야? 이런 씨발! 다 썼어, 점프. 이제 못함. 끝. 수고하세요.
Is that it?
그래, 뭔데
Surely
이거?
that's not all the new content.
더
There has to
해줘.
be something else, right?
이거 씨발 코드 어딨어? 옛날에 이거 막 전화 같은 거 내가 코드 뽑았다고 이게 이거 나레이션이 개지랄 한 적 있는데. 아, 이 점프 다 쓴 거임? 에바임. 뽑아버리셈. 에이씨. 디럭스 수듀.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive.
맞아.
It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes.
너,
I knew there had to be something
너
else.
자꾸 나
Let's see it. I'm ready for
자꾸
whatever it is.
기대해. 기대해 자꾸 너. 죽여. 나 안 나가면 너 반응 안 해줄 거야 이제? 뭐야? 뭔데?
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact,
Yeah.
I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find
자꾸
these people
하면
on
나
Twitter
이거
and hold
리뷰해버려.
them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley.
나
I built
리뷰해.
up too much anticipation around the new content.
나
I'm
리뷰하는
afraid.
거 좋은
It could
게임
never
없어.
have lived up to such
내가 리뷰하는
expectations.
게임들은
If
다
you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the
리뷰하러 간다.
Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like
너 뭐
always.
숨겨놨지 여기.
What do you say, friend?
아이 개새끼야! 아이 뭐야? 어? 뭔가 다른데? 어? 뭐야? 원래 여기였잖아. 뭐야 저기 뭔가 적혀있는데 좀 보고 싶다. 폴란드 아가 그거구나. 사이버 어쩌고 뭐 개새끼.
Psst. Stanley,
Yes.
come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
아 진짜. 궁금해. 궁금해. 궁금한데? 씨발.
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well,
아.
fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
개새끼가. 오호. 개새끼.
Oh, never mind. You're not a dork.
이 새끼, 개새끼, 뭐가 있는 거지?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I
Oh.
made something special and
옛날에
tucked it
이게
away here where the
마인크래프트도
game's
들어있었는데
developers
안에.
won't find it. Just our little secret.
이거
Take a look.
옛날 거 유튜브에 올려놨는데 아마 그거 보고 보시면 더 재밌을 듯? 화질이 물론 좀 안 좋을 텐데 옛날에 한 거라서. What the fuck? 디아블로임? 와우.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the
무슨-
peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley
Yes.
Parable on PC.
가만있어 봐. 여기도 좀 살펴보게. 이게 다야? 와 근데 이쁘긴 하다. 좋은데? 와 너무 좋은데? 역시 자연이 최고야. 뭐지 이거? 버찌인가? 추억의 공간. 와우. 와우 와우. 와우. 잊지 말도록.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of
지들이
2013
게임
when
존나
the game
까네.
originally launched? Back then,
새끼들.
video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
와우. 와, 옛날 그 스탠리 패러블 스팀에 이야. 공간 행복한 공간. 뭐야? 추억의 공간 임시? 뭐야 이거? 우리의 첫 키스. 첫 번째 자가용? 지랄하고 있네. 우리가 언제 이런 게 있었다고? 인디펜던트 게임 페스티벌 관객상? 뭐야 누구요? 영국 영화 텔레비전 예술 아카데미 수상자 브로드스트리 아니라 스탠리 패러블로 바꿔놨네. 이 새끼 봐라. 좋았던 한때. 아이씨. 아이 새끼. 잠깐만 숫자가 적혀있다. 1951 오리지널. 이야. The Stanley Parable. 뭐야 이거? 그 일이 있었다는 것에 웃어봐요. 대체 뭔데? 달성 불가능. 이 도전 과제는 달성 불가능합니다. 밖으로 나가기. 5년 동안 플레이하지 마십시오. 뭐야? 5년 동안 안 나왔다는 거를 뭐 지들이 까는 건가? 다 수상 후보임. 씨바. 뉴욕타임스 새로운 비디오 게임 오늘 발매되다. 놀랍도록 현실적인 개발진들. 재계 지도자들이 의회 동맹의 선거를 추진한다. 50% 할인 명품 모자. 하지만 작은 생명체가 나머지 절반을 소유합니다. 뭔 개소리야? 스탠리 패러블이 어려운 결정을 내리다. 저 아까 그거잖아. 뭐야? 누구세요? 아니 멈춰. 저작권 멈춰.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley
스탠리
Parable.
패러블
Like this
리뷰를
stunning
모아놨다.
triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that
실제
aspire to be
리뷰
more
박제한
than
거냐,
games
설마?
end up less than any form of art. Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how
하지 마세요.
grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore.
그래 이게
It's just a
게임이냐라는
husk
평이 있긴 했어 예전에.
now. A lifeless
본 거 같아.
husk with an hour of new elevator content.
존나 웃기네. 여러분은 스탠리 패러블 같은 게임을 어떻게 리뷰하시나요? 비참할 정도로 부적절하다. 디어 에스더. 와 여기 디어 에스더 난 되게 재밌게 했는데. 이거 아프리카 때 한 건데. 디어 에스더는 상호작용적인 재미의 형태를 낭비했지만 스탠리 패러블은 그걸 직접 이용하고 도로 뒤집어 엎어버리를 합니다. 정말 많은 게임들이 게임 그 자체를 넘어 어떤 예술이나 형태를 열망하는 것에서 하지만 올바르지 않죠. 아 추워. 야 그래도 준비 많이 했네. 실망할 뻔했는데. 고상한 향수 그땐 좋았지. 오! 이거 포탈이 있네? 잠깐만 이 새끼 게임 하나 잘못 넣은 것 같은데 스샷? 아 포탈도 있었나? 저번에 그 옛날에 그 게임에 마인크래프트도 들어있긴 했는데 아 맞네 맞아 마인크래프트가 있었어요. 존나 신박하긴 했지. 추억의 공간 보수구역? 계세요? 올해의 인물 난가? 얘인 것 같은데 스탠리? 오 모임이건. 야
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating
나는
commentary
처음
on the
게임
nature
플레이할
of
때
choice in
잘못된 길로
games,
가려 하는
and
사람
one
중
that
한
offers
명이다.
some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It
다
just needed to be
박제시켜버렸네.
left alone,
존나
to spend the
웃기네.
rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
개웃기네. 와 소스 엔진. 옛날에 이거 그 게리 모드 엔진 썼었거든 이 게임이. 사람들이 게임을 좋아하는 이유는 무언가를 할 수 있기 때문인데 당신들이 만든 게임에선 사람들이 아주 잘 알 수 있게 해줬습니다. 아무것도 할 수 없다는 걸요. 말 그대로 아무. 이게 신랄한 비판을 당한 걸 다 박제했네. 존나 웃겨. 난 존나 재밌었는데. 뭐 사람마다 다른 거겠지. 스캇 K를 위해. 어이 깜짝이야 씨발.
These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again.
예. 진지한 방인데 텅 비어 있음. 이 새끼들 하나도 안 진지함. 얌마. 여기 열렸다.
Wait, hang on.
Huh?
I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
뭔데? 뭐냐?
Oh no. Oh God, no.
What the-
Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the
Oh,
online video game
shit.
distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
아니야. 걔 박살났는데 리뷰? 뭐지? 비추천.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny.
오!
I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical
빡쳤는데?
insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to
왜
stick.
좋아요는 없어? 오. 뭐 커피 머신에 소스 적혀 있다고? 아. 소스 엔진? 야 근데 얘네들 스팀에서 그렇게 평가가 박했나? 근데 이거 평가 좋지 않았나 이 게임? 전체적으로는? 악플만 모아놨다. 야, 근데 왜 이렇게 다 박살이 났어? 스팀 왜 이렇게 다 헐었어? 스팀 왜 이렇게 몰락했는데? 오, 천둥까지. 야, 표현 잘 해놨네.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be
박제됐어.
honest, I had always thought of the game's
저런.
dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record.
웃기네.
I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down.
나레이션 왜 이렇게 흑화하려
Perhaps
그래?
the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
괜찮은 거야 이 새끼? 여기 내려가면 돌이킬 수 없을 것 같은데. 당신
What's
또
this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with
그
his
잘난 체 하는
long-winded
목소리가.
explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive
오
reviews of the
진정해.
standard. That's my motto.
오
today, and
뭐야
it's
이거?
always been my motto. I'd do anything for the
오
customers. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
개 삐졌네. 야 임마 뭐 왜 그래? 괜찮아.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning
아니야,
starts to
난 오히려
bore you,
좋아.
with just the push of a button,
주둥이 계속
you'll have
놀려봐.
zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me
존나
rambling on
삐졌네.
and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time,
들어주자,
at which time, everything all at once, so, now you see,
은근히
blah,
속이
blah, blah,
좁잖아.
blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime.
존나 삐졌어.
It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago?
지금
Which
내면
is why I
광기인데.
say... The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too
반복인가
much
보다.
and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just
만 년 동안
yesterday, here and
지속했다.
there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is.
이상한데? 뭔가
How many
말이 좀
billions
바뀐 것
left
같기도?
until so much more than forever ago, which is why I say... The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until
네, 뭔가 이거 뭔가
inevitably, we
멋있다.
all until the
디자인적으로 뭔가
end of
마음에 든다.
time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just
뭔가
yet,
시작은
until
같은데
245.
조금 달라지는
That the
느낌이?
logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until
몇십억.
so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say...
똑같나?
The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so...
어? 뭐야?
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my
시간이
more
바뀌었나?
profound such ruminations.
아닌데?
Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me
더 해봐,
what you think.
개새끼야.
Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a
나무가
choice
약간
you've already
자랐다고?
made,
그런가?
you bring that
이거
choice
한번
into
보면서
being,
한번
then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the
진짜 이거
sanctuary
한숨
of
자고
time
오면 어떻게
a
되는 거지?
monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices
뭔가
you've ever
중얼중얼 말을
made
계속
in
하긴
fact
하네요.
make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting
약간
you and not
영어
affecting you
듣기
at the
평가
same
같긴 한데.
time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto
그만.
just has... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's
신새끼네,
right
이거.
at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review,
쿠키9 방금
or
그
at least
리뷰 남긴
change some of the
새끼.
wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works.
스킵하라고 말 개 많이 한다고?
Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're Oh, Stanley, you're back.
어머.
You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through.
그래 한번 해봐.
So much time.
찌꺼려봐,
I stopped
찌꺼려봐.
keeping track after
1년?
a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe
Whoa.
it for you. To begin with, there is only regret.
그만. 헬로. 오. 선생님. 선생님. 오. 이게 무슨 뭐야 뭔데? 떨어져 버렸는데 이거? 가버렸어.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic
진짜
little thumbs
뒤끝
down review
존나
and
심한
make all of their
새끼네.
pitiful demands. But
이
then he's
정도라고.
talking too much, they said. First, he didn't
와우.
entertain us. Now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency. It's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course,
개쩌네.
absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these
닥쳐. 선생님 자고 그럼 저 또 리뷰하러 가요. 죽었나 본데?
The end is never the end is never
헐,
the
맛
end
갔다, 맛
is
갔다.
never the end
뒤진
is
것
never
같은데?
the end is never the end is never the end is never the end
이거 그냥
is
두면
never
그냥
the
계속
end
이 지랄 하는
is
거임?
end is never the 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 end
뭔가
is
좀
never the
반응 있지
end
않겠어,
is
그래도?
never the end is 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 never the
조금 말이 느려진 것 같기도 하고.
end is never the 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 end
아까 뭐가 적혀 있었다고 모니터에?
is never the end is never the end is never the end is never the end is never
뭔가 말투랑 그게 조금씩 다른 것 같긴 해.
end is never the 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 end is never the
그만.
end is never
선생님 계세요? 죽어. 비 온다. 비 오는데? 물 샌다. 안 돼. 집샌 물 샌. 씨발. 그만. 안 돼. 물 그만. 와, 시간이 얼마나 흐른 거야? 약간 포탈 느낌 나는데요, 이거? 오? 뭐야? 포탈인데요? 뭐야? 이거 맞아, 이게? 아니 근데 이거 존나 무섭다. 뭔가 버튼조차도 씨발 무서워. 존나 무서운데? 뭔가 그 약간 공허함에 무서움이 있네. 이거 뭐 호흡 소리인가요? 숨소리야. 뭐지? 아, 버튼도 뒤졌는데? 야, 왜? 오, 뭐야, 열렸다. 우와. 잠깐만, 한 번 더 누를 수 있나? 모임? 아니 씨발 뭐야? 분위기 개 좋아. 잠깐만. 아니 뭐? 약간 그 영화 뭐지 그거? 듄. 수듄 말고 듄. 와. 이렇게까지? 아니 개쩐다. 뭐야? 에? 뭐야 왜? 왜?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
아
Stanley
엔딩이야?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
아이
memo.
미친 뭐야 더 보고 싶었는데. 뭐야 도대체? 깜짝이야. 뉴 컨텐츠. 뭐야 씨발.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
뭐야 씨발. 보여주나? 또 있어? 새로운 컨텐츠 스킵을 해주네. 와, 나 근데 거기 다시
You
가고
see,
싶다.
Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The
자동
original
스킵해주는구나.
Stanley was a
왔던
landmark,
거기까지는.
and any new content for it should live up to that legacy.
쩔긴
So
하네.
forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley
뭐지?
Parable 2.
오! 에이, 지랄하지 마세요.
Yes, you see, it's
절대 안
far
믿지,
superior to
개새끼야.
a measly re-release with a few minor
니들 이거 몇
additions
년을
into all the
우려먹었는데.
new territory will cover with a fully fledged sequel, an entirely new experience built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
뭐야, 끝이야? 이거 뭐 투자하라 이거임? 끝은 절대로 끝나지 않는다. 또다시. 뭐야 이거? 존나 어색하게 생겼는데 뭐임 이거? 투자자 설명회를 해주겠다. 그래 어디 얼마 만약에 정말로 2가 제대로 나온다면 투자해볼 의향이 있습니다.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
그건
Ultra
맞아.
Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
근데 문제는 2 후속작을 맛보세요. 네. 근데 문제는 2가 2답지 못하면 뒤지게 욕을 먹는다. 뭐야? 와 이것까지 한글로 다 해놨어? 사진. 오, 뭐야? 뭐임? 아 버그임. 버그 일부러 이런 거야? 아니 씨발 게임이 워낙에 그거라서 버그인지 아니면 의도한 건지 알 수가 없네. 버그인가요? 버그 같죠? 개새끼들이. 뭐야? 뭐야 이거? 둘이 되어버린 날 잊은 것 같은 너의 모습에 하나일 때보다 난 외롭고 허전해. 네가 가져간 나의 반쪽 때문인가? 그래서 넌 둘이 될 수 있었던 거야. 세로 드림인가? 둘갓 하외 내 반 그 둘. 모임 씨발 이거. 노래라고 이게? 우리나라 노래라고? 이런 노래가 있어 우리나라에? 모름. 이게 다 뭐냐? 워! 새로운 머그잔 2부 일어날 시간 2야. 씨발. 저 뭐라 적혔어 저거? 희미한 방을 마주한 가죽 소파에 컵을 두고 간 커피 애호가들을 절대 과소평가하지 마라. 개소리여. 그들이 돌아왔다. 두 개의 문. 새로운 머그잔. 스탠리 패러블 로고 아이디어. 뭐 깔끔해서 좋다. 이거 어그로 끌어도 되겠는데? 전에 도내로 온 적 있는 노랜데 모른다고 한다고? 야, 미안한데 가사만 보면은 모를 때도 있지. 새끼야, 내가 뭐 가요에 대해서 모르게 후속작 아이디어. 스탠리가 도끼를 던질 수 있음. 스탠리가 신에게 축복을 받음. 예술적이고 은밀한 아내 장면. 자유의 방 모드. 더 유명한 나레이터는 찍찍이네 있고요. 갈아입기 모드. 소액 결제. 미친 새끼들. 더 나은 게임 플레이. 알몸 스탠리. 뉴욕 도시. 제트팩 연료통? 지랄 났지 아주. 뭐야 이거? 아 좀 확대 기능 좀 넣어라 이 개새. 새로운 컨텐츠 빼고 새로운 컨텐츠 파트 2를 추가. 지루한 차트 조각, 빨갛고 멋진 차트 조각, 따끈한 신상, 식상한 플러스 고물. 뭐 아무튼 뭐
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally
이딴 거에
spring up
투자를
around
하라고?
them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
스크럼 회의, 디자인 컨셉 회의, 휴식, 컨셉 회의 디자인, 숫자 2로 수다. 뭐야 씨발. 2 관리부 참조 수신자 나 2시에 회의합시다. 진심을 담아 관리부. 뭐야 이 새끼들. 이쪽이 무대입니다. 중요한 투자자 여러분. 아 좋지. New Features? 뭐야 이거. 새로운 컨텐츠 보여주나? 뭔데 이거. 아 이게 다예요? 그리고 약간 요즘 나오는 게임들이랑 다 이렇게 풍자도 겹들이면서
Here we are. Go
오.
on. Try out some of the new features.
뭐야? 독점. 게임을 플레이하는 플레이어의 이름을 말하는 버튼? 뭐야 이게? 당신의 멋진 이름을 게임에서 들으세요. 오 흥미롭군. 뭐지 이게?
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as
존나
people.
흥미롭다. 이런 거 너무
So
좋아.
with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that
그래 맨날
wonderful?
보면은 뭐 그 주인공은 이름이 그거라서 맨날 저기 뭐야 모험가 뭐 이런 걸로 퉁쳐놓잖아 다 개새끼들. 당신의 이름을 들어보세요. 그치 정해져 있거나 이거 뭐야 딱 알맞음 너무 작음 너무 큼 뭔데 이게. 어? 오늘 당신의 이름을 들어보래. 뭔데? 뭐지? 조금 무서운데?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have
깜짝이야.
clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is.
나
Here, let's
짐이었어?
have you roleplay as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just
와 이거
play along.
진짜
I
이름이
promise you'll
짐이었던
love it.
사람이
Okay,
눌렀으면
here we go.
개거품
Let's
물었을
take
것
a deep
같은데.
breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine
오늘부터
yourself
짐 TV로
living as
바꿉니다.
Jim,
웁 TV 아닙니다.
sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble
또
into
짐이요.
dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right
Yes,
now?
I am Jim.
If so, then
난
please
오늘부터 짐이야.
step forward and press the button.
와우.
Yes, you see, what a thrill, what a rush.
정신
That was
같은
you.
게임.
The button described you. Do it again, do it again. It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth
야,
the
이
money.
개새끼들아.
Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
내 이름이 짐인 걸 어떻게 알고?
Whoa there, cowboy.
Whoa.
Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button
아, 이
away.
게임 존나 재밌.
Otherwise, soon
아니야.
you'll start to lose all sense of who you
안 돼.
are.
젠장. 짐바. 아깝다. 난 이런 게 재밌는데 이제 다른 사람들은 이게 이제 게임 취향인 건데 난 이런 게 재밌는데 이제 다른 사람들은 아니 씨발 이게 뭐냐고 막 존나 욕할 수도 있긴 하겠다. 유머 코드가 맞아야 되는데 여기 열리나? 아이 짐 버튼 돌려줘. 에이씨. 뭐야? 그럼 여기 끝난 건가
I
이제?
suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2.
와,
That would
바뀌었어.
actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
헐, 당신은 앞으로 짐이라고 불리게 된대. 개쩐다. 바뀌었어요. 뭐야 이거? 이 새끼가. 뭐야 나 완전 나 짐 돼버렸어. 상품? 새로운 컨텐츠를 보았다. 이 티셔츠야말로 최고의 새로운 컨텐츠다. 야 저거 마음에 드는데? 저건 진짜 마음에 드는걸? 양동이. 스크린샷 금지?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one.
뭔데?
I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
오 모임. 언젠간 잘 될 거야 하트. 12살 생일 축하한다 조카 녀석아. 언젠간 잘 될 거야.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, Stepney.
야 이 개새끼들아.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
얌마 답정
Come
너잖아.
now, you've already made your choice. It's true
이거
that you
했잖아.
chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
아니 나 이런 쌍. 개새끼들. 잠깐만. 씨발 꼴 받네 이거. 모든 일시정지 버튼은 로마 숫자 2이다. 오 그래? 스탠리 패러블에 안심을 주는 양동이? QR 코드가 있다고? 어디요? QR 코드 어디 있어요? 아 이거? 오! 근데 이걸 어디다 찍어? 자 이거 해보실 분? 이 정도면 되나? 해봐. 아이 노트 4도 되는데 귀찮아 지금. 공식 사이트가 나와 진짜로? 오 존나 신박하다 게임. 이요. 스탠리 패러블 2 홈페이지로 가? 미친. 신기하네. 잘 해놨네. 존나 웃기네. 독점, 짐이라고 말하는 버튼. 짐이에요. 여기도 스크린샷 금지다. 완벽히 새로운 사무실. 레드 이즈 더 뉴 오렌지. 새로운 업데이트된 레이트레이싱된 더 많은 같지만 다른 좋은 느낌의 뭐 새로운 요소, 새로운 컨텐츠, 새로운 아이디어. 존나 웃기네. 이거 진짜 게임 다 까네. 공짜로 새롭고 쉬운 도전 과제 얻기? 나 이거 좋아 이런 거. 예. 예. 공짜 도전 과제래. 지금 당장 달성해 가세요. 레버를 당기세요. 새로운 도전 과제를 받으세요. 이상 절차는 없습니다. 그냥 바로 달성돼요. 야 이거 또 게임 까는 거 맞다 이거. 도전 과제 때문에
Now here's something special. You remember that
싸구려
broken
게임
test
사가지고
achievement that got left in the
하는
game on
그런 사람들도
accident?
있거든.
Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
정말? 나 도전 과제 주는 거요?
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that
I
will
guess
exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley. But I
Yaish.
guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
줘. 이씨. 존나 웃긴 건 아까 문고리 5번인가 20번 잡았는데 도전 과제 깨졌어. 연타 중임. 아 될 것 같은데 좀 줘봐요. 아 존나 째째하게 구네. 도전 과제 했는데 오류나서 불가능해진 거 돌려까기인 것 같다고? 씨발. 코드 같은 거 뽑는 거 없나? 에이씨. 뭐요? 끝이요? 여기 뭐요? 치사하네. 모임?
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
응? 아까 좀 궁금한 게 있긴 했어. 뭐야 이건 또? 아, 나 이 개새 점프 가능한 원이 쌍.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
Yep.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
아니 씨발. 넣어줘. 돈 낼게. 점프 한 번에 150원인가? 남은 점프 없음. 플레이어가 운다. 이 씨발놈들. 개새끼들. 새로운 요소. 아주 그냥 씨발 그냥 게임 풍자 존나게 해놨구만. 뭐야 이거. 밤에는 정말 피곤해. 피곤한 낮에 일하는 무대 매니저. 뭐 어쩌고 적혀있음? 에필로그?
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it would go at the
뭔데
end of
벌써
the...
에필로그요?
Well, we'll figure that out later.
뭐요? 끝이요? 아까 좀 궁금한 게 있긴 했음. 저기 존내 궁금했음. 잠깐만, 여기 뭐지? 끝없는 구멍 설정하기 세계 챔피언? 뭐냐? 저 안심을 주는 양동이 존내 궁금하다. 여긴 안되네. 근데 대체 뭘 보고 투자를 하라는 거야, 이씨. 너무 많은 의미 부여를 한 것 같은데. 오, 저기도 있다, 저기도 있다. 뭐야? 시간 깊이, 구멍, 테두리, 주변부 깊이. 이거 블랙홀인가 그거 아니야? 뭐 상대성 이론 그런 거 아님? 끝없는 구멍의 구조? 계속 내려갑니다. 이게 뭔데요?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm
Oh.
truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever.
아니,
That's
씨발?
right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
뭐야? 저거 실제로 있는 거야, 그러면? 좀 재밌어 보인다. 끝없는 구멍. 가도 되는 건가? 뭐가 실제 설정을 들어가야 돼요? 잠깐 기다려봐. 좀만 둘러보고. 아, 그 설정 챔피언 거기? 아, 그래? 일단 여기가 너무 궁금하다. 이거 뭔가 썸네일로 써도 되겠는데? 끝없는 구멍? 이런 식으로. 이거 좀 못 참는 사람들 많잖아, 여러분. 가자! 와!
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do
오,
say so.
어우, 야, 씨발,
Now
약간
then,
그,
Since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
잠깐만. 야, 살짝.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on
왜요?
the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
와, 이런 공간 있으면 님들 가볼 거임?
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the
개새끼,
hole.
니네 이거 끝
Is
있지?
it a very, very deep hole? To be certain, it
이거 실제로 떨어지고
It's
있는
an
게 맞아요,
extremely
근데.
deep hole.
저 위에
I
군형이
don't
점점
want anyone to
작아짐.
say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever.
일단 걔 무한?
I think the issue here
개새끼야?
is just that you're unusually fascinated by
무한의
falling.
구멍이라며!
What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
어머, 이 새끼 가스라이팅 하는 거 봐, 이 미친 새끼.
Things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
미친
Why
새끼
don't
아니야?
we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite?
무한에
If that works
가까운
for you,
구멍으로
then go
바꾸자고.
ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
텔레포트 버튼을 누르래. 안 가면 어떻게 되는 건데? 새로운 머그잔. 이거 뭐 새로운 떡밥 같은 건 없나? 담배를 버렸어.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more for heaven.
예!
I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much.
당신이 구멍을 지나치게 좋아하는 거라고?
Would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on
씨발.
forever till the end of
재밌긴
time.
해.
Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of. Oh.
뭐야 좀
Did the
짧다?
hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel
뭐야?
like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an
야
infinite,
줄어들었어.
but I didn't think it was that not infinite.
개
Well, I
신박하네.
suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had
뭐냐?
enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
존나 신기해. 잠깐만 한 번 더 가.
Had enough? I'm positively
이
thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole.
이걸
If this starts
참냐고.
to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite.
뭐지?
I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep,
못
even by the
참죠.
lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll
그래.
see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it
점프를
is you're
주시던가
here to do.
그러면.
Hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
아 씨발 점프 주면 되잖아. 굳이 이걸. 뭐야? 안
Is
돼.
the teleport
야, 이
button not
개.
working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation.
갇힘.
It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
안 눌러보는 중. 안 됨.
Still nothing.
개새야.
Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley.
Oh.
You couldn't bear to be
Yamma.
away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole. I get to do literally
알았어.
anything
딴짓
else.
안 할게. 잠깐만.
Take care, Stanley.
안
Both
돼.
you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
개새끼 진짜 갔어. 뭐야 뭔 소리야? 뭐 이상 소리 나는데요? 아니야 지금 G 안 누르고 있어. 지금 G 눌렀는데 What the fuck? 아니 이 게임 나 좀 무섭다. 공포 게임이라고 해도 솔직히 손색이 없어. G 누르니까 내려가요. 뭔데 이거 뭘 의미하는 건데 도대체? F를 눌러 시점 변경? 뭐야? 와, 갓게임. 뭔지 모르지만 갓게임. G를 눌러 인식 변경? H를 눌러 현실 변경. 오. 오. 레전드. 헐. 아, 이 게임 진짜 개 좋다. 와. J를 눌러 나 자신을 변경. 와우. 와우. 방금 심해 같은 거 넘기고. 개 재밌는데? 존나 웃긴다.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley?
방해하지 마. 아 씨발.
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had
방해하지
sort of
마.
dozed off there,
재밌었다고.
drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that,
안
Stanley,
돼.
because this hole is just so darn fascinating.
이걸
that I want you
방해하네,
to be wide
미친.
awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole. And
그러게
I'm looking
담배꽁초
forward to all
없어졌.
of them.
아 여기 있음.
Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
어디가 이 새끼야? 근데 오히려 좋은 거 아님? 에? 뭐야?
Here we are. Go on.
씨발.
Try out some of the new features.
엔딩이었음 설마? 구덩이 엔딩이었나봐. 아, 엔딩 존나 재밌었는데. 더 하고 싶었는데. 양동이가 뭐자고? 안심을 주는 양동이? 와, 이 게임 너무 좋다. 이거 고티 받아도 되는 거 아닙니까? 이 정도면? 너무 좋은데?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was
스탠리
confusing
패러블의
and
비평 대부분
paradoxical,
너무 혼란스럽고
that it engendered
역설적이었다.
a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who
안심을
played it.
주는
Well,
양동이.
I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will
어디 있는데,
fill your
양동이가?
mind and your heart. It's true.
오.
As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
예스. 안심을 주는 양동이. 어?
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in
뭘요?
fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a
개소리야.
person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more
매기는 것
awaits you
같은데,
in the
씨발.
Stanley Parable 2.
개새끼가. 엠마! 오늘 양동이 있으니까 좀 포근해지는 느낌이 들긴 개뿔 뭔데? 내려놓게 해줘. 야, 내가 그 구덩이 너무 재밌는데 구덩이 한 번 더 하고 싶은데. 나 들고 가면 되는 거임?
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
이게 뭐람? 나 이 양동이 들고 계속 돌아다녀야 돼 그러면? 양동이 팝니다. 양동이 굿즈로 팔게요. 이거 뭐야? 거추장스러워. 씨발 얘 이름 바뀐 거 봐. 거의 끝없는 구멍으로 바뀌었어. 개새끼들. 개새끼들. 올모스트를 붙여버렸네. 존나 웃기네. 테두리 주변 무한대. 아 잠깐만, 나 진짜 그러면 이 양동이 계속 들고 다녀야 돼? 그만. 자, 여기 뭐가 있네? 엑스포 홀2 가이드. 당신은 여기에 있습니다. 공짜 도전까지 다 했고. 설정 챔피언 가볼까? 거기 어디였지? 저쪽 위였는데. 글쎄요, 설정 챔피언이라길래 무슨 설정을 실제로 해야지 열리는 문이래. 이건가 봐. 그니까 뭘 설정해야 되는지 왜 안 알려줌. 실제 게임 옵션을 만져야 열리는 문 같은데. 뭐 해야 됨? 아니면 설정창을 한번 들어가 볼까? 가만 있어봐. 설정. 설정 초기화. 뭐가 있다는 거야? 조작. 키 설정 초기화. 점프 씨발 있지도 않는 거. 비디오, 오디오, 일반. 뭐야? 뭔데? 아, 양동이 씨팔. 잠깐만. 설정창을 들어가면 된다고 알고 있다고요? 설정창 들어갔다 나왔는데요, 방금? 안 되는데요? 마. 문 열어. 도전 과제 설명에는 슬라이더만 설명하고 있으나 설정 메뉴에 체크박스까지 설정해야 달성한다. 아, 설정의 모든 값을 한 번씩 만져야 열린다고요? 씨발 궁금하단 씀. 아니 도대체 저 문 뒤에 뭐가 있는데? 라벨 크기? 됐다! 세팅 월드 챔피언. 아? 대충 이렇게 됐었고, 시야각 몇이었지? 77이고 감도 없었고, 시야감도 4였고, 자막 크기 크게였고, 대충 이렇게였나? 오케이, 됐어. 일단 되긴 됐어. 그러니까 60이었고,
This is the story of a man named.
비디오는 뭐 건들 거 없었고, 됐나? 오디오 됐죠? 다 만진 건 이거 소리가 좀 작아진 거 같냐? 됐다. 자, 갑니다. 계단을 내려가 열린. 오, 야, 뭔데?
Aha!
I can see you've gotten the Settings World Champion achievement. Well done. You've
씨발.
experienced every setting, traveled to all corners of the settings menu. There's nothing you haven't seen. So, just for you, in the Stanley Parable 2, I'm including an entirely new setting, something called bumpscosity.
뭐?
What exactly is
저게 뭔데?
bumpscosity? Well, I haven't quite figured that part out yet, but I just know that you'll be able to adjust it on some sort of slider, and that it'll be available from the
뭐야,
settings
이게?
menu. We'll sort the rest of the details out later. I hope you're looking forward to trying out every level of bumpscosity in the Stanley Parable 2.
당신은 모든 슬라이더를 가능한 모든 수치로 설정하기 챔피언입니다. 이 방을 즐겨주시기 바랍니다. 이 방은 당신의 것입니다. 오직 당신을 위해 만들었습니다. 절대로 설정 슬라이드를 가능한 수치대로 전부 설정하지 못할 거야. 끝이야? 아, 그래서 양동이는 어떻게 없애는데? 범프스코시티는 챔피언 달성하면 설정 메뉴에 추가되는 설정이라고? 아까 누가 말하기를 이거 아무런 영향도 없대요, 씨발 게임. 네이씨. 꼴 봤네. 빨리 이거 좀 어떻게 좀 해봐. 나 못 들고 다녔어. 양동이 존나 짜증나. 양동이 가져가. 빨리 양동이 이거. 갖다 버리게. 수집 요소가 남아있다고? 아니 그딴 건 모르겠고 일단 양동이 빨리 환불이요. 못 버린다고? 이런 씨바. 아 왜? 어째서? 아, 수집 요소라는 곳을 아예 안 갔다고? 난 또 새로운 수집 요소가 있다는 건 줄 알았네. 잠깐만, 한번 가보자. 어디였지 아까? 아, 저긴가? 여기 찾을 수 있을까요? 수집 요소 찾을 수 있을까요? 수집 요소 찾을 수 있을까요? 수집 요소 개씨. 오, 아 양동이 씨. 아 제발 이거 양동이 떼줘 제발. 뭐야 이거? 어? 뭔데 이거? 아 진짜 양동이 이거 안 돼요?
Ah,
깜짝이야.
collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
야이씨. 이게 뭐야? 헐. 이게 뭐람? 끝이야? 아니 쌍.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it.
그렇죠.
Absolutely tragic.
사실 게임을 싫어하는 거 아니야? 이 게임 제작자? 얼추 다 본 거 같은데 출구각? 아니 잠깐만 근데 이거 뭐 진심 이렇게 그냥 뭐야 이게 콘크리트로 명상하기? 뭐야 씨발 이건 또 잠깐만 이거 뭔가 길이 원래 이런데 길이 있었나? 뭐야 이거 아 몰라 이 양동이 개 같은 거
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
뭐죠 이거? 아니 뭐 넘어가는 건 좋은데 너는 양동이 좋아? 우리 이제 여기서 볼 건 다 본 건가? 혹시 한 번 더 볼 거 없나? 없지 이제 몰라 혹시 몰라서 제가 한 번 더 둘러보는 중 근데 다 본 거 같은데 이 정도면 웬만하면 네 갑시다 미스터 짐 출발합니다 뭐 없는 듯 보니까 무슨 사람 얼굴이 있던데 스크린샷 금지 헬로
So, Stanley,
깜짝이야. 어우,
what do you
어우,
think?
개새끼.
Do you
어우.
like all of the new
야,
features?
조용히
Yes, I
말해.
know
이씨.
it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you
게임 소리 시끄러워.
the Stanley Parable 2.
와우 쉣.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes. Yes, this is much better.
Ah,
I feel
양동이
good about
개.
this. Here we go. Version 2.
뭐다
Who am I
죽
kidding,
써놨어
Stanley?
이씨.
This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much
뭐해?
enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect.
이 새끼
Go ahead.
신났는데?
Take a look.
뭐야 뭘 보여줘? 오! 와! 수고하세요. 자, 오늘 스탠리 패러블 여기까지. 다음에 이어서 해보죠. 다음엔 스탠리 패러블 2로 한번 이어서 해보겠습니다. 벌써 3시간 가까이 했기 때문에 분량이 조금 많아서 네, 확실히 재밌네요. 다음에 키면은 혹시 모르니까 한번 켜보자. 켰는데 어떻게 되는지 봐야겠어. 과연 다시 켰을 때 그대로 돼 있는지. 뭐야, 이거 또 있네? 근데 대체 이거 왜 입력하라는 거임? 새벽을? 아니, 시간을? 뭐 의미가 있나? 뭐야, 잠깐만요. 한마디 해도 될까요? 게임을 실행한 2번 모두 실제 시각을 맞춰주셔서 감사합니다. 많은 사람들이 그 절차를 심각하게 받아들이지 않거든요. 그냥 12시 시간을 맞춰서 떠나버립니다. 하지만 당신은 실제로 시간을 내서 시각을 맞추시는 것에 정말 감사해. 씨발로마! 이로써 당신이 이 경험에 신경 쓰고 있다는 걸 알았습니다. 관심이 개새끼야! 전 당신이 설정한 시간이 맞는지조차 알 길이 없지만요. 있잖아요. 보답 하나 하죠. 협조를 잘 해주셨으니 다음번에 게임을 실행하고 이 화면을 볼 때는 시계를 당신이 가장 좋아하는 시각으로 설정하세요. 마음대로 하세요. 원하는 시간을 고르세요. 정확한 시간이 아니더라도요. 당신은 충분한 자격이 있어요. 좋아요. 그럼 이제 게임으로 돌아가겠습니다. 하나 이 개새끼. 여기서 하네요. 다음에 뵙죠. 미친 갓겜. 개꿀잼. 이게 읽혔네. 개새. 개